Prospecting, yeah, sure. Prospecting, everybody, when you're talking to salespeople about prospecting, if you really want to see a salesperson break out in a cold sweat or a rash, you start talking to them about prospecting and finding business, finding new business, or talking to people that they're uncomfortable because they really haven't developed a relationship with that person. But what they fail to realize is prospecting is not cold calls. Prospecting is really the process of developing relationships with people. And prospecting is not always done on the phone, especially in this day and age. A lot of our prospecting is done in this room. Networking, understanding who the people are that you touch and who they touch. You've heard of the 6 degrees of separation. I don't do cold calls. Okay? I'll tell you a cold call that I did many, many years ago. Is I called a friend of mine and I said to them, hey, I'm trying to do business with Eli Lilly. Because I was the director of sales and marketing at the Hyatt Regency in Indianapolis, Indiana. In Eli Lilly's home. Okay? The friend that I called said, well, I don't know the person in charge of their meetings division. However, my neighbor's the vice president of sales and marketing. It's really. So I met the neighbor through this person. So I called the neighbor's office and got his secretary on the phone. And I told his secretary what I was trying to do, and his secretary said, well, that's not what Mr. Schultz does. That's Mr. Rodriguez. And he reports to Mr. Schultz. I said, oh, do you have a number for Mr. Rodriguez? He said, sure, I'll give you his number. I called Mr. Rodriguez's office, and I said, I called Mr. Schultz's office, and they recommended I call you. Now, I never talked to Mr. Schultz. Mr. Schultz had never said to me, call Mr. Rodriguez, his secretary did. However, how many of you have a boss? If your boss calls you, or somebody calls you and says your boss told you to talk to them, how often do you talk to that person? Very well. Okay? All of a sudden, Mr. Rodriguez and I started developing a relationship. Did he give me business right away? No. He came to find out months later that I didn't even know Mr. Schultz. I never spoke to the man, and he laughed. But this was an opportunity to get past that first step. That's what prospecting is all about. When you talk to people, Bill just mentioned something about having 2 jobs. I'm a small business, and I'm a speaker, but I speak for free. Not because, and even my wife says to me, are you getting paid for this? Not today. But the bottom line is, I don't know who's in that room that may say, you know what, I like what I heard. I have an organization that needs a speaker. We'd love to talk to you about coming to talk to them. And I know you do the same thing all the time, because that's part of our business. But that's prospecting from our standpoint. That's what we have to do. Utilize a collaborative network of like individuals to gain access that you otherwise would not be able to get. You're still going to have to do some phone calls. You're still going to have to do some things on the internet. My son will tell you, I'm on LinkedIn, I have my own website, and I have 3 Facebook pages. And I'm blasting stuff over there all the time. Some of it I do personally, some of it I have somebody who does for me. However, my message is continually in front of people, telling them who I am, what I do, and what I bring to the party. Again, I'm developing my brand, but that's really prospecting, because I'm throwing my net out there, and I'm hoping that there's some fish in it at the end of the day.